Well, here to talk to us about the path to 270 and the potential legal impact following the election is Gilda Daniels. She is a law professor at the University of Baltimore School of Law and director of litigation for the civil rights organization, the Advancement Project. Daniels, a graduate of the NYU School of Law and has more than a decade of voting rights experience in both the Clinton and Bush administrations. Gilda Daniels, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first question for you. So far, President Trump's campaign, we know, has mounted numerous legal challenges in several states. But how much, if at all, is it likely that they will affect the total vote tally as it stands?
These lawsuits will not change the outcome. It is highly unlikely that they will change the outcome. There are courts that have entertained these lawsuits that have thrown them out, saying that there is no evidence. And certainly courts have thrown these cases out. They've essentially fallen into 3 or 4 areas. They've been challenging deadlines, particularly in Pennsylvania, the deadlines for the receipt of mail-in ballots that was extended beyond November 3rd. There are poll watch access cases. It said that they wanted to be, instead of 10 feet away watching the process, the court said, okay, you can be 6 feet away. And there's also ballot counting procedures, as well as the case that they filed today on certainly voting machines in Maricopa County in Arizona. But none of these lawsuits will actually change the outcome of the election. These are challenges to normal voting processes, and he's challenging them in several states, and they won't certainly change go within the margins in regards to the numbers of votes that have been cast and the difference between the two candidates, so that they will not change the outcome.
Professor Daniels, you may have just answered this question, but I think it's important to ask, do you believe that these lawsuits won't change the outcome of certain states based on the numbers that are there, or based on the basis of the lawsuit itself?
The both, because the basis of the lawsuits certainly aren't, many of them are filed in state court. There is one lawsuit where they've sought to intervene in a case that's in the United States Supreme Court that only involves, with the numbers I've seen, that they only involve between 4,000 to 10,000 ballots in the state of Pennsylvania. And we know that the margin thus far is around 30,000 votes, and that number is expected to grow. So because of the basis of the lawsuit, so in this instance it has to do with the date for extending the deadline for receiving ballots. And this is an issue that has already been resolved, right, by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court, and the United States Supreme Court said that it would not address that, but may address it after the election. So we're after the election now, and I would certainly say that the Supreme Court's not going to address it because because it won't certainly address the outcome because of the number of ballots that we're looking at and the difference between the ballots that have been cast between the two candidates.
Professor Daniels, very quickly now, we just have a bit of time, but I just want to ask you, well before this election, President Trump did assert that the only way he would lose is if there was election fraud, like illegal voting. How much of an impact do you think this process has had on America's faith in its system?
I think Americans have actually gained faith in the system and watching the election officials to meticulously count these votes and to take their time in doing so to make sure that they are accurately counted. We've seen it in Republican-led states as well as Democrat-led states that these states have taken their time to actually count these votes, and I think that Americans should have more confidence, and particularly because there's no evidence of voter fraud, and even the Secretary of States in various states, particularly Georgia and Michigan and other states, are saying they have not seen any instances of voter fraud.
All right. Professor Gilda Daniels, professor of law at the University of Baltimore School of Law, we thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.